Hello, dreamers. This podcast is for you. Dreams do come true.
It's never too late to get started, and that's what I want this podcast to be about for you. To lift you up, give you encouragement, and know that your dreams are not dead. They're still there. If you have that inside of you, it's meant for you to do it. You have just got to take the first step. You can't just keep sitting on it. I know, I'm one of those dreamers, and we're going to make our dreams come true. So I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited to get started, and I'm so excited that you're here.
Welcome, Arnold Connelly, to the Dreams Do Come True podcast. And you won Smell Songwriter of the Year Gold in the ISSA Awards just recently. And I'm so honored to have you on my podcast. And the stories were so inspiring. I just really want you to tell your story and just share with the world. Obviously, you went from your story, what stuck out to me was coal miner to songwriter. So I want you to talk about that and just tell us about yourself. And are you still mining or are you just songwriting now? And just tell us a little bit about you and how you got into music, if it's always been ingrained in your soul like a lot of people.
Sure, Miss Pam. Well, first off, thank you for inviting me to your show. I'm very honored and touched that I'm getting to be a part of this tonight. Well, it kind of all started when I was a kid, about 5 or 6 years old. I would sit in front of a speaker and listen to the music. And in my household back then, the first remembrance of music was Ernest Tubb and Loretta Lynn, country music. I was born in Dearborn, Michigan, near Detroit. My family was, my mom's side of the family is from Kentucky area. So in our household, we had like Don Williams playing, and we had Jim Ed Brown, Ernest Tubb, Don Williams, Charlie Pride, George Jones, all the classics,
Yeah.
And it kind of ingrained on me right at an early age, the music part of it. So, but my favorite singer is Conway Twitty. As I was a kid growing up, I used to do talent shows and that kind of thing. But my father before that, my father passed when I was 6 years old, and my mom moved us to Kentucky, where my mom's side of the family was. So I grew up in western Kentucky near the Kentucky Lake, Paducah, Benton, Kentucky. It's about 2 hours northwest of Nashville. And the music in my family, when we moved down here, all my mom's side of the family played some kind of instrument, banjo, guitar, sang, this, that, and the other. My mom remarried. Went long after, it was in the early 80s. And my stepfather passed away when I was 15. So I had really a lot of tragedy early in my life, with my father dying at 6, and when I was 6, and when I was 15, my stepfather, passed. But the music, I kind of lived in the music, because I was always had music in my mind. I was always singing and that kind of thing. And my stepfather encouraged me to get in band and marching band, and I did. And I played trumpet in high school, and I played a semester in college. But being from a poor background, I didn't have a whole lot of money growing up. My mother, she never graduated high school. My father, had an eighth grade education. He was a truck driver. I wanted to do better for myself, and they always stressed on education. So I ended up going. I needed a way to pay for college, and I went to University of Kentucky. And I was sitting in one of my classes in high school, and they was offered a scholarship for the University of Kentucky Mining and Engineering program at UK. And I knew I liked being outside. I liked dealing with people. I liked getting dirty. I was pretty smart in math and science and that kind of thing. And so I did it, and got my first real big job in coal mining when I was in college in 1992 in Carmi, Illinois. And it was a deep mine, underground coal mine. And I did that until I graduated college. And after I got out, I ended up going to Eastern Kentucky, where my wife is from, the Corbin, London area. I worked over around Hazard and Hyden and just north of Knoxville, Tennessee, and Lake City, Tennessee. They were all deep mines. I worked underground from about 19 to 23 years old. I was a coal miner. Then the coal market, like always, tanked, and I wanted a different career choice or a different path. So I contacted the school, and they hooked me up with a company in Atlanta, Georgia. So I was in Georgia for 10 years. I transferred to Georgia, and I was around Forest Park, Tyrone, Peachtree City, Columbus, Grange area. I spent a year in Auburn, Alabama, and I was in the rock industry then. And I worked on the surface. So I was, doing that kind of thing, and I moved up from the laborer to, to operator, to supervisor, to manager, to, eventually I ended up becoming a general manager. And well, what happened was they transferred me to Kentucky, so I got a chance to go back home, and I had a plant on the Ohio River and one on the Tennessee River. And the whole time this music's, I'm still playing music behind the scenes. What's it like at home, and that kind of thing, and writing a few songs. I really didn't become much of a songwriter until after college. but I was making a living through the mining. So I guess when my company was bought out, I lost my job, and that's leading up to how I got to New York City. So we're up in New Jersey area. So I'm in Western Kentucky. I lost my job. My kids are 10 years old and 8 years old. I got 2 daughters, and I've been married this year. It'll be 25 years next month.
Oh,
And,
congratulations.
well, thank you, ma'am. And I knew the vice president up here in New Jersey with another aggregate company, another mining company. And he, long and short of it, he brought me up here, wined and dined me, and showed me around the city. I said, Bill, there's nothing in New Jersey. I don't know anybody in New Jersey except for you, and it's nothing but just bad stuff. Because I've never been to New Jersey before. I was scared to go above the Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
So I got up here and I loved it. Long story short, I've been here 10 years, and I worked 2 years in Riverdale as a plant manager, 4 years at Mount Hope, which is one of the largest rock quarries in the United States. Become an area man, went back to school. So I have a mining and engineering degree from the University of Kentucky, graduated in 94, went back to college 20 years later, and this is kind of what inspired me to go and, do the music thing. I earned my MBA with Centenary University. After I earned my MBA, I would become an area manager, and then I had a general manager. I had 8 plants at one time. I had 4 in New York, 4 in New Jersey. And, after I earned my MBA, I told myself, I said, I'm in my middle 40s now, and I said, I've always wanted to do music, and I said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm tired of talking about it. And you mentioned about dreaming, right? And you just got to take that first step.
Yes.
So that's funny. I went to a local music store right here in town. I live in Washington, New Jersey right now. I have a house here, but I also have a home in Western Kentucky. So I got a house both places, and I go back and forth. Matter of fact, I'll be home this weekend, Labor Day weekend. I'm going home. So I go in this music store, and I pick up an old guitar, and I start singing that song, You Win Again by Hank Williams Sr. to the store owner. And he said, Arnold, he said, I know somebody looking for a country singer. Would you be interested in doing that? I said, yeah, why not? So I hooked up with some guys in June 2016. I graduated with my MBA in 2015. That night was magic. I went in there, and one of the guys was a mechanic with the New Jersey Transit, a diesel mechanic. The other guy was a maintenance person with the local school system, and here I am, just some mining guy. I'm a rock quarry guy, coal miner, And we get to singing, and it's beautiful what music does. 15 minutes we're playing music. These are complete strangers. And,
Yes.
out of the blue, they say, Arnold, we hear that you're a songwriter. Could you do some of your stuff for us? I said, nah, you don't want to hear my stuff. They said, oh, no, we want original stuff. And next thing you know, we're playing, and here it is in 2019. We're still together. The name of the band is called Fire on the Wire. It's based here in Washington, New Jersey. Here's the coolest part, is we all live within 2 miles of each other. So the bass player, the drummer, or not the drummer is the only one that's far out. And me and myself, Tom Kopsko, he's the leader. He plays rhythm. I play rhythm. Charles Wilson, who's the lead guitar, he plays lead guitar. And then Mike Bray, he's our bass player. We went without a bass player for a while. And the drummer lives down in Flemington. His name is Mark Banovic. Anyway, so Fire on the Wire was done, and during this whole time we're playing out a little bit like VFWs. We got a show actually this Tuesday at a local community fair, but we didn't record anything. I'm at this time, I guess, we're 45, 46 years old. I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do my first album. I guess it was 45. I was in my middle 40s. I'm 46 now, so just a couple years ago. So July 2017, I was on Facebook, right before July 2017, I was on Facebook, and I made a comment that I want to do a professional album in Nashville. And one of my friends I went to church with back home in Western Kentucky at Hamlet, and she said, hey, Arnold, I got a friend in the music business. I said, oh, yeah, really? It's funny. I'm a believer. I believe in God, and I think God has his hand on my life, my whole life. And at the time, when I was 18 years old, I wanted to do music, but I'm glad I didn't, because now I've got a little bit of I've grown up. I know what it's like to run a business, and music is really a business. I enjoy doing music, but really it's a business. And I know how to run a business, and I know what it takes to run a business. And I'm grateful and thankful that God chose me a different path. Now I get to really do the music the way it should be done. She said, I got a friend in the music business, and her name is LaDonna Brewer Capps. And I said, okay. So LaDonna happened to be online at that time. She said, yeah, Arnold, call me. So I called her, and she said, well, we got to talking, and kind of like, what was your influence and how did you get into it? Kind of like you're asking me. And I got talking. She says, who's your favorite artist? And I said, well, I'm old school country. I said, don't get me wrong, I love all kinds of music. I was in a band, for Pete's sake. But I said, I was in a marching band too. And I said, but I said, my favorite all time probably is Conway Twitty. And she said, well, Arnold, that's kind of funny because she said, Joni Twitty, which is Conway's daughter, and I are friends, and we kind of hung out together as I was a kid growing up. I said, are you kidding me? She said, no. She said, I'm friends with Joni Twitty. And so it's a funny story, but I got to be friends with Joni Twitty, which that's, her father was my idol. So she said, well, how can I help you? And I said, well, I'm not really sure, Miss LaDonna. I said, I never, my dream is to eventually record something, but I said, I don't know anything about the music business. I'm new at this. She said, well, if you want to record, let me know. So July the 5th of 2017, I decided to go to Nashville and record. At the time, the studio was called Tone Slinger Recording Studios. And it's right behind the Nashville Palace. It's right across from the Grand Ole Opry Hotel. It's, it's a Music Valley Road or Drive, I guess it's called, down there. Music City Bar and Grill's there. I mean, it's a nice area. So I did 5 songs on July the 5th, and that's really when my career really got started. I did my first professional EP. I recorded 5 songs to Cowboy Dance, which was a song that got me discovered in New Jersey. I had done this crazy dance, and I kind of wrote it for my mom, because when I go home to Kentucky, I take Mom dancing. Mom's 76. And yeah, she's by herself, so I take Mom dancing. Yeah, and so I was watching all these people, these senior citizens up trying to get up on the floor, and I was thinking, I'm going to write a song to get people up on the floor. So I did this song, the Cowboy Dance. I put this little dance. It's kind of, Mom thought it was kind of dirty. I said, Mom, it's not really dirty. I said, just put me in a stick in the mud. I said, it's fun. And so what happened was I put it on YouTube, and I forgot about it. And I did this like in 2013, and here it is 2017. And I've forgotten all about it. So one day I come into work and I hear this music in the background. I said, what is going on here? And some people at work had found me on YouTube, and they were doing my dance. I said, what? I said, oh no, I'm going to get fired. My company's going to fire me now. I'm scared to death. And so I told Mom, I said, Mom, I've got to record that song. She said, son, why do you have to do that song? I said, Mom, because it's got me discovered in New Jersey, And so I did the Cowboy Dance, and that's the one that I'm probably most known for. Even though it's not my favorite song, that's the one everybody gravitates to. And then on that EP, I did Saying Goodbye, which is a song I wrote for my wife. My mother-in-law passed in 2017, March 2017, right before I recorded. And it's a song about her saying goodbye to her mom as her mom was passing. And it's a true story. All my songs are just always true. Yeah. My Eyes Are Only on You was on that. It was a beautiful song. I wrote that for my wife, the 4 kids, when we was going to dance in Alabama that night. I will never forget that. And it's a single wide trailer. I grew up in a trailer for a while as a kid, so that's a song about how I grew up. And then I See You is a song I wrote. This is the first EP I did down there. It was a song about my daughter. Because she's graduated now. She's a junior in college, and I got another one's a freshman in college. And I still see her as a little baby. She's a grown woman now, And so that's my first EP. And then I did okay a little bit with it. I got a little bit of radio play. So a year later, I decided I'm going to go back and do a full album. And at the time, I was just going to record 5 songs. So in March 2018, I go back and I do a full album, and I actually make an album out. I left the EP alone. And at the end of the taping of the album, by the way, on this album, I have Scott Weichel on there. He's a DJ that kind of supports me. He was with my kind of country radio, and he plays traditional country music. And I got him to sing background vocals on one of my songs called "It's Not Easy Going Home." Yeah. And It's Not Easy Going Home was a song I wrote for a friend who was like 30 years in the mining industry, and he retired and he's from Pittsburgh, PA area, but he's worked in Jersey for 30 years. It's kind of like me going back to Kentucky from New Jersey. I made friends here. I've been here 10 years. It's hard to go back home. Even though you want to go back home, it's not easy. So the song's about his last day at work and what he's going to be doing. And I got a little bit of play on the Coyote Country on 100.7 FM just recently. That's my first big radio.
I saw that on
in
Facebook.
Central Kentucky. Yeah.
I saw
And
that.
what happened is I was listening.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I was going through town and in Lexington, going to Southeast Kentucky. I heard the radio station was looking for local talent. And I thought, I'm a local guy, but I'm not a local guy. I'm going to tell them my story and see if they'll play me. If they played me. So it was great. So
that's great.
So in April of 2018, I did another album down at Tone Slinger. And at the end of the album, the engineer, Barry Wayne, called me up and said, Arnold, they're looking at selling the studio. Would you be interested in partnering with us? And I said, I don't know anything about recording music. That's why I hire you guys. But long and behold, I did partner with them. So we had to change the name from Tone Slinger Recording Studios to Music Valley Recording Studios. So when you see the Music Valley on my Facebook. That's me, and that
Oh.
I'm part owner in that studio now. And
That's wonderful. And it is in Nashville, right?
It is in Nashville, right behind the Nashville. You know where Cooters is, right there in town. We're right behind Cooters and Nashville Palace. It's right at the best location. You make a left, you go to the Grand Ole Opry Hotel. You make a right. I tell everybody we're across the Grand Ole Opry. You can't get no better than that.
No, you cannot.
And we have the best musicians. Most all the musicians that come in and play, studio musicians, play the Opry, and a lot of big names, and a lot of them played for like Merle Haggard and. Played Tim Atwood was our piano. He played on my piano. He played 8,500 shows on the Opry. These are all big time people. Ronnie McDowell's son was a drummer on my EP.
Wow.
Yeah, big names. And Barry Wayne has like 6 #1 gospel songs. And I'm just very grateful and thankful. Again, God's directed me, and I could get in there. I also record an album in New Jersey with Fire on the Wire called Fire on the Wire. And how we got our name is I wrote a song called Fire on the Wire. And we were trying to figure out a name for the band, and Tom, our band leader, he says, Arnold, he said, we got the band, it's right here. I mean, we got the song, or the band name, it's in your song, Fire on the Wire. I said, oh, yeah. So when we do our shows, we always, when the band's got a song named after it, I think that's pretty cool, Song I wrote, I write all the songs, and I don't want to be the band leader, though. I told Thomas I'm doing it for fun. I got enough stress at work with mining. I'm still in the mining industry. I've been writing songs for a long time, so I did I got involved with the studio. I get that record up here, and then I just recently went back in April, and we're still kind of hashing some things out. I spoke to Barry actually tonight about it. I've got a new record to be coming out probably in the fall. I did another album down there. Okay. So and then, of course, I write songs all the time. I got involved with the ISSA, I guess, International Singer-Songwriter Association, about a year ago, I guess it's been now. And I love what they do. I was talking to Phil Krantz. He's a DJ friend of mine down in Georgia, 94.7 FM and WAAK. And he, I told him, I said, we need something for independent artists. Somebody needs to do something. Of course, Miss Tammany come up with, ISSA, which is great.
Awesome.
It is awesome. I thought this is perfect. And I said, this is great. And so then when the awards come out, I didn't nominate myself. Somebody nominated. I got nominated for male vocalist, songwriter, and my band Fire on the Wire. Well, be honest with you, I thought the male vocalists, there's a lot of good singers out there. I'm okay singer. I mean, I can, people are attracted to me. I mean, I can do it. But there's a lot of talent. I said, and the other one, Fire on the Wire, I said, we don't play out enough. So I didn't think I had a shot at making those. I said, but I really, really was interested in winning the songwriter. To me, that was dear to my heart. And I said, I think I might have a shot at that. And then, just getting nominated was an honor. Because, you come from, nobody knows who you are, and all of a sudden you get nominated, and next thing you know, you're in the 15 finalists, and I'm leading up to the award show now. When I found out I was nominated, of course, I was really happy and stuff. And then I was telling Scott Weichel, my DJ friend up in Michigan, about it, and he said, he was talking about what artists look like. I said, you got to have the look. I mean, you have to have, if you're going to be a plant manager, you need to look like a plant manager. If you're going to be a country artist, you need to act like a country artist, within reason. And that's part of the image. And I said, but my image, I said, I don't really wear a cowboy hat. That's not who I am. Every now and then I might wear one if I'm out and about, but that's not who I am really. And I said, a ball cap, I don't really like. I'll wear a ball cap when I'm out in public, just, going to places, but I don't do that on shows generally, And so no, that's not what I do. I said, but I tell you something I do wear every single day. And I said, I wear a hard hat every single day. And I said, most of the songs I write is about the common folk. It's about me. 90% of them are true. I say over 90% are true. And I said, I said, it would be funny if I wore my hard hat, up there. And so Scott Weichel, he said, you're just crazy enough to do that. So he dared me. My DJ friend pretty much dared me to wear it. He said, if you ought to wear your hard hat, he said, you'll stand out. So I told my wife about it, and she said, oh, you ain't going to do that? I said, oh, yes, I am. I am going to do that. I said, I'm going to do it. So I went to the warehouse, and I got a brand new white hard hat with no kind of emblems on it. And I went to Walmart right before the show, and I bought my wife this big old black purse to stick it in. And she said, Arnold, she said, what if they do a bag check? I said, well, I hope they don't, because I'm going to have some explaining to do, So, so I put it in the bag. Nobody knew it at the show. So this whole time she got this hard hat in the thing. And then, when the awards would be announced, and I said, well, they got the silver. And I said, well, forget about it. No sense worried about this hard hat. And they called my name. I about started to cry. I couldn't believe it. I said, this is just unbelievable. And so I was thinking about right before the show, Tammany asked me, she said, Arnold, she said, if, I'm telling everybody, you better have a speech prepared. She tells everybody to have a speech prepared. I didn't really prepare no speech. I thought about it maybe an hour before the show, and so I had that idea that, dreams do come true, and dreams come true. I do a lot of speaking and that kind of thing, because I've been a manager and general manager of an operation, mining operation, so I'm used to standing in front of people. And I thought, I want this to be very special. And I think it was a Cliff Wheeler band that played that song, Hard Living Man or Hard Living Life or something. And I thought, man, you can't get no better than this. So I threw that I said, I know something about this. And I threw that hard hat on and people went crazy. I thought it was great. It was such a great experience. And I'm so fortunate to be able to live my dream. But, I didn't get started, again, I was 45, I think I did I'll be 47 in October. Yeah, I've only been doing this 2 years. And
and look at this short amount of time. I mean, it's just so amazing and inspiring. And I want to commend you for going back and getting your MBA in your 40s, because I did. So, I know how hard that is to work, have a family. And at the time, I was a single mom, trying to raise my kids and going to school and working. So I know how hard that was. So congratulations on that accomplishment. It is a big accomplishment.
Well, it really inspired me, because at that time when I went back, it took me 2 years to do it. I was going to night school, and I had a mortgage here and a mortgage back home. I was running one of the biggest plants in the country, not in the aggregate industry. My whole location where I work is in the top 20 on a regular basis, and you got all these people and you got all this responsibility, and then going back to school, and I thought, if I can do that, I said, that's as much work as being in a band or doing music. I said, I'm going to do the music thing. I said, I'm going to commit from 45 to 50 years old. I'm going to commit 5 years of my life and go as hard as I can go. I think I'm starting to get some traction a little bit.
Yeah, that's so wonderful and so inspiring. And I really love your story. I love that you partnered with the music studio. I don't know if you're thinking about this, but do you offer any kind of special for the indie artists to come in and record? Or, I'm just asking.
No, I'm glad you did ask that. Naturally, I would try to work with them because I'm an indie artist myself, and I had to pay for everything, so I know how expensive it is. It's very expensive. And actually, with the studio time, it's easy to donate. Where we get in trouble is, you still have to pay those studio musicians, and that comes out of the pocket of the studio. So, at cost, yes. I would generally tell you, you can do a song. We usually do songs around $1,000. I'll just be honest with you, and if you do more, you can do it for $700, $750 if you do an album, and so it's kind of like mining rock. The more rock you get, the cheaper it is, so the more songs you record with us, the cheaper. That gives you an idea, give or take. I mean, if you go in there and you want a full-blown orchestra, obviously the more musicians you have, the more expensive it is. Yes, to answer your question, I definitely want to let independent artists know out there that you're dealing with an indie artist himself, me. We're trying to get by like everybody. We're not setting the world on fire. We're not getting rich. So like all musicians, we're starving. So we need a little help. Just throw us a little love. But I'm going to tell you, you're not going to find a better place in Nashville. You're not going to find a better value in Nashville for what you get, and the most down-home atmosphere you could ever have. I've had a few artists come down. I had a couple artists from New Jersey come down, and one from New York that just recently went down that met me up here, and they wanted the Nashville experience, and looked them up, and they went down there, had a good time, and recorded some beautiful music. So
I want to do that, so I'm going to keep in touch with you.
Oh yeah. And I always tell them, I said, if like I have some friends overseas, I said, hey, when you guys come over here, won't you come to New York City, hang out with me? I'll take you to the city. I'll show you Times Square, and I'll take you to the Statue of Liberty, because I live like 50 miles from New York City. I said, then when we get done, we'll fly to Nashville. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time in Nashville, because I got a whole 2 hours in Nashville.
Your dreams are coming true, just like that. I mean, you just said that like, I just get in my plane and fly down to Nashville every, once a week or something. That's so awesome.
We'll have to fly Southwest. But I do have a friend who has a plane, and he's offered to take me down here. He sure has for his private plane. And he flew me, my wife and I, over the city. Our 21st anniversary, he flew me over the George Washington Bridge. I'm thinking, here's this kid. I was a country boy, and when I went to Atlanta for the first time, I flipped out because it was so big. And then I come up here, and I'm thinking, God, I mean, I always said I wanted to one day be in one of the biggest cities and one of the tallest skyscrapers, and I always want to give God the glory for what he's done for me, because I know has not been Arnold. There's no way in 2 years from nobody, completely nobody, that I've had the opportunity to go to be a songwriter gold first place of a major organization that's worldwide. That just does not happen without a divine intervention. And, Jesus, I'm just so grateful for, that's why I said the Father and Jesus, the Son and the Holy Spirit. And kind of how a lot of people ask me, well, how do you write? I said, well, sometimes I get an idea and I just start scratching stuff down. But here's my secret the last year or so. I usually get an idea and I usually take a nap like on Saturday afternoon. I'll take a nap, wake up, I just grab a pen and paper, grab my guitar, my keyboard, and I start doing the structure of the song, and I write down what comes to my mind. And oftentimes, I have no idea what I really wrote. And then when I go back and look at it, and I really start looking, I said, man, did I write that? You don't know how many songs I've written that I didn't know I even wrote. And it's almost like it's divine. I only wrote a few gospel songs, but it's magic. And I don't know, I just have a knack for it. I can't explain it. It's just, that's how I do it.
Well, I know I see you on Facebook, and it's like, since the awards, it's like, my gosh, she's doing a song every day. I'm like, I get inspired. What I used to think is I had to be inspired to write, but then I realized you don't. You just start writing, and then the ideas do come. When you're writing, you just get more and more momentum. So, but yeah, I'm seeing you on Facebook. I'm like, wow, he is just like a song magnet. I mean, just pumping them out. That's really great. Well, where can people find you to get your songs and downloads?
Well, as the ISSA recommends, of course, I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. I already have this. I have a website. It's arnoldconnelly.com.
Okay.
You can Google me. Now, the thing about it is, a lot of people spell Connelly a million different ways. So I'll spell it Connelly. So it's Arnold Connelly, one word, ARNOLD, Connelly, CONNELLY.com. Okay. And from a media standpoint, I need to really make it simple, like AFC.com or AC.com, so my fans can find me. But you can also Google me. The cool thing is, if you Google, I have an open. on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on. I don't do much Twitter, but I do tweet. I don't do much of that. Most of mine's Facebook. I have a fan page. I have a website. And if you go to my website, arnoldconnelly.com, from there you can go to my Facebook page. You can go to my YouTube page. You can buy my albums. Okay. It's pretty well laid out. I try to make it simple possible. I designed everything. My photos were done from my best friend from grade school. He done all my photos, and most of them are in Kentucky, which he done a wonderful job, especially my new album coming out. His name is Jason Scott. Jason Scott, and he doesn't want any credit, but you're getting it, Jason, whether you like it or not. So,
now, that's the last thing I want to ask is, what new thing do you have coming out, or new project, and when is it coming?
My new project should already be out, but I have to kick Barry in the butt down there and get it done. He's my producer, engineer, partner. I did 10 songs in April of this year. I wrote all the songs. It's going to be 2 of the songs are actually gospel songs. One of them's called By Faith, Not by Sight, and it's about heaven. And I did that song at my mother-in-law's funeral, as well as saying goodbye. I did both songs. And then the other song that's a gospel, it's called A Long Ways from Glory. So I got 2 gospel songs, and then the rest of them got some party songs. I actually got some cheating songs, which I don't do that often, but I wanted one. Oh, and also, here's a cool thing. Here's really cool. You're going to love this. I don't know if you know a lady named Judy Bailey, but you may. She sang with Mo Bandy back in the late or early 80s. She was nominated in 1981 for Female Vocalist of the Year at the CMAs, and Juice Newton won it that year. I got to be friends with just Miss Judy Bailey. We got talking on the phone, and she come down there to record with us down there. And she met me through Scott Weichel. She reached out to me on Facebook, on Messenger, say, hey, I want to come to your studio. And she offered to do a duet with me.
That is so amazing.
I've got a duet with a major country star. She sang with Columbia Records. She sung with Warner Brother Records. She's a songwriter.
And that's on your new album?
Yeah, and it's on my new album.
And when is that album coming out?
I'm hoping it'll be out between now and October. I'm hoping.
Okay, so by October.
Yeah, and I got to get my artwork. I've got most of my artwork done on it, but it's You're My Somebody Nobody Knows is going to be the song that she sang with me. I wrote it, and I didn't write it as a duet. at first. But then I got thinking about, I want to do kind of a song like that. And so I sing one lyric, and she sings the other lyric, and we sing the chorus together. And I haven't heard the final copy yet, so I'm excited to get it,
Well, that's so amazing, and I really appreciate your time. I hate to cut it short, but I have another interview after this one. But I really appreciate your time so much, and you've got so much going on, and I just congratulate you on your award. And I look forward to maybe coming and recording in your studio. I would love to do that.
Miss Pam, that'd be wonderful. And if just give me a shout, I'll meet you down there, and
okay.
I'll treat you better than family. So.
Well, thank you so much, Arnold, again, and congratulations. And I just look forward to hearing new stuff and your new album.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Pam.
Thank you, Arnold. It was such a pleasure. I really appreciate your time, and it's an honor. It's interesting to learn how you fought all your struggles, even losing your dad at such a young age and your stepdad, and then you fought through and persevered. And now you are a partner in a recording studio, Musical Valley Studio. That is so awesome. And you won the Songwriter of the Year Gold for Male in the ISSA Awards. You have done so much, and we're just looking for more great things from you, making your dreams come true.